Hey, I've been very quiet. Kind of. I've been trying, Gary. It's a long process. Okay, now I'm ready. I got my phone on vibrate. See that?
Either that or silence.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, thanks. Bye.
How you feeling, Gary? Feeling better?
Yeah,
Pretty good. Getting your legs under you now?
yeah, my legs are still pretty weak, but I'm making progress.
Yeah, I know my sister-in-law, she's still trying to get her white blood cell count up. She can't get it up. I don't know what the heck it is, but
It gets so weak.
yeah.
I got so weak they had to put me in the hospital for a week.
Oh, jeez. That's no good.
Come to find out I had sepsis.
Oh,
Oh, no.
that's not good.
That's not good stuff.
Okay, the hour being 7 o'clock, I call this meeting to order. If we could have everybody in the building lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I would like to make a proposed change to the agenda that we move item 12, executive session, to the beginning of the meeting before we approve the agenda for proposed litigation or possible litigation.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We are adjourned, and we're going to go into executive session. And we shall return,
Up and down again, Gary.
hopefully pretty quick, okay?
Down?
Yep, executive session. We gotta go back in our corners. Yep, back in the corner.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to reconvene.
Mayor,
Who's that?
I make a motion, we reconvene.
Second.
Okay, it's moved by Councilman Chetra and seconded by Councilwoman Mazer. All in favor? Never mind, wait. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carried. Item 5, public hearing. A public hearing to consider a request for a special, oh, pardon me. Are there any citizens in the audience that are not on the agenda that want to address the council? Go ahead.
No, I'm Philip Stanton. I just had a couple of questions. I contacted most all of the council members about it, in regards to one of the agenda items that's on tonight, the change order for the wastewater treatment plant. I guess I have a whole bunch of questions, but the main question would be just simply, what happens to that contract if you don't pay it? Because it seems like you're probably about 80 to 90% done with construction, and they're coming in at the last minute and throwing you a $790,000 change order. So my simple question is, I have a bunch of questions, but I don't want to waste a whole lot of your time. I'm just curious, what happens if you don't pay it?
And shouldn't we address this during the council action item?
Am I able to ask questions then also?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wait for that then. Thanks.
Okay, so back to item A, a public hearing to consider a request for a special use permit filed by Little Rascals Child Care Center for a child care center.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Rob Fisher, Planning and Zoning Administrator. Public hearing tonight is to consider a request for a special use permit filed by the Little Rascals Child Care, owned by Jennifer and Cody Pohl, and it's for a child care center to be located at 595 Bramwell Street, Green River, Wyoming. The petitioners, Jennifer and Cody, are seeking consideration for the special use permit within the existing child care facility. The Family Child Care Center currently provides care for children from infancy to 12 years old and operates from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. The property is currently in a R3 zone, and according to the use table in Appendix B, Section 9.2, a conditional use permit is required for a family child care center. It's defined as a care for a maximum of 15 children. That is what they currently have through a conditional use permit that was granted last year. A child care center is defined as any private person, partnership, association, or corporation that is operating a state licensed business for profit or otherwise where 16 or more children receive care for part of the day. They must have a special use to be operational. The applicant did have accordance with Wyoming DFS that came in and reviewed their facility, and they are approved for up to 31 individuals through the Wyoming Department of Family Services. Special uses are those that are not specifically listed as permitted uses. However, they may still fit within the zoning district and neighborhood. 4 criteria that must be determined to approve a special use permit are as follows. It will not endanger the public health or safety. It will not injure the value of adjoining or abutting property. It will be in harmony with the area in which it is located, and it will be in conformity with the comprehensive master plan. The Planning and Zoning Commission met on March 12, 2025 to discuss the special use permit and voted to recommend it for approval to the governing body of the City of Green River. There were stipulations that were put forth with the conditional use permit when it was approved approximately a year ago. They recommended the same stipulations be set in place that were decided in July of 2024. Those stipulations are that drop-off and pickup times to be staggered throughout the day to prevent traffic congestion, space along the fence where the toys are not allowed, so there's reduction for potential of toys going over adjacent property fences. To ensure not all children are outside playing at one period, stagger outdoor playtime to keep any potential noise nuisance to a minimum. Ensure that employees and guardian vehicles are not parking in front of other neighbor residences within the area to keep the guest and employee parking at the said location or on the street provided surrounding the location. This is the public hearing portion for this item. There is a resolution later within this agenda. We did publish the public hearing on April 3rd and April 10th of this year. And we did have signs posted at the facility on March 24th indicating about the hearing that will take place. Do you want me to invite Jennifer and Cody up, or do you have any questions?
Sure, if you guys would like
They
to.
would come up.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Paul, however you want to pronounce it, I suppose.
Hello, I'm Cody.
So what, do you guys have any questions or concerns with this? Go ahead.
Thank you for being here. How many employees do you have, and what are your hours again?
So I've got 2 employees plus myself, and the hours are from 6 to 7. However, it actually needs to be changed because we went to 6 PM because I don't have any more children that stay after 5:30.
Thank you.
Anyone else, Council?
Obviously, if it was approved, I would have to hire more, at least 2 more.
And what kind of numbers are you looking at potentially expanding to?
Up to 31. However, with how the childcare is, I have part-day kids, full-day kids, some kids come, half the week, and so there's never actually going to be 31 at a time there, but if come summertime, there was that, overlaps, I've got the ability to say it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there, go ahead. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council on this issue? And I would like to point out that in speaking to Rob, within 200 feet of the facility, all the property owners are notified. That came out to approximately 28 property owners. Nobody commented. And to be fair, we do have a comment from a citizen that had some concerns. That was not necessarily an adjacent property owner.
You want me to speak on that?
Yeah.
All right, so I was contacted by Mayor Russ this morning in regards to an email that was received, I think it was at 8:30 last night. It's in here somewhere. So the concern was that this individual did not feel that the facility was big enough to house that many children. They felt that when the building was sold to the current owner, it needed many upgrades to get up to code, and this individual did not think that there was enough time to have that completed. Also, there was some information that was relayed to her through social media that there was possibly a 14 or 15-year-old working within the facility, one of the family members. I did reach out to Ms. Pohl this morning regarding that. In regards to the upgrade or to get it up to code, she said that the fire marshal came in from the state and certified the business. The appraisal did not show any issues with anything that wasn't up to code. They did have an issue with one of the furnaces. The facility has two. One furnace was not working properly last fall, and so they did replace that. She does have that documentation here tonight to provide if needed. I spoke to her about the family member who's 14 or 15 years old. She said that she does have a daughter that does come to the facility at that age, and she cleans, like takes out the garbage, cleans the bathrooms, but is not employed as a caretaker for the facility, for the kids. In regards to whether the space was big enough for the children, I reached out to Veronica with the Department of Family Services, who is the licensor who came down and licensed that facility for the children. And in talking to her, they have a formula that they use to acquire exactly how many kids can occupy the facility. It's basically taking the length and the width, the square footage of the property and dividing it by 35, and that gives them the number as to how many children can occupy the structure. And that 35 is set forth by, I think, some of the state statutes that they have to abide by.
Okay, excellent, thank you, Rob. Any, yes, Councilman Byrd.
Rob, if you could just reiterate for us up here on council, I've been through this one time before. So there are 4 criteria that we're allowed to and not allowed to vote for or against. Could you repeat those 4 criteria that we're in charge of, not the ones that the state licensing does?
So the 4 criteria that must be determined to approve the special use permit, is that what you're referring to,
Yes,
Ms. Bird?
please.
That it will not endanger the public health or safety. It will not injure the value of adjoining or abutting property. It will be in harmony with the area in which it is located and will be in conformity with the comprehensive master plan.
Thank you.
Yep.
And it has been there for a long time as a daycare.
Yes.
Okay, council, what's your pleasure?
We need to come out of the public hearing and then.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else?
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Jennifer has some pictures here that she took, that she printed off. They're not very good, they're cell phone pictures, and printed off a home computer, but, it'll be more than we've only got 1 copy of each, but this is some of the work we've done. When we acquired the building, it was not in very good shape. Paint was old, carpet was torn, one of the bathrooms wasn't working, and you heard about the furnace. We went through, we've got everything fixed, everything's up to code as far as the fire marshal goes. We have pictures of the fire extinguishers, there's fire detectors in every room in that building. So we feel like we've, done our part to get it up to code. And 3 little boys that were here earlier, they're here because they love her. So she's doing a good job. That's what she does. She's got a good heart on her shoulders and patience, because I couldn't do it. So, but I just want to let you know that we have had them changed. We have the documentation of the new furnace. This is licensing from Veronica's in here. So if you guys would like to see that, we can.
Yeah, very good. Why don't you just appreciate that?
What do you need?
Just keep in mind that I may have forgot part of the pictures from the printer, so my toddler side is not in there. So there's actually more rooms than what you can see.
Very good. It looks a lot different than when we lived there, because my family lived there about 40 years ago. 35 years ago, pardon me. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing if I don't see anybody else, okay? So item 6, resolutions. Consideration of a resolution to approve a special use permit filed by Jennifer and Cody Pohl. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We just had it. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
move to approve the resolution granting a special use permit to Little Rascals Child Care Center to have their classification changed from a family child care center to a child care center at their current facility location at 595 Brandmouth Street.
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilman Berg, I'm going to say, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item B, consideration to approve a resolution granting the Sugar Ranch subdivision replat of lots numbered 6 through 16 of Block 18. The request is to consider the following subdivision replat for the Sugar Ranch subdivision, a subdivision of Jamestown, Block 18, Lot 6 through 16.
Again, consideration to approve the resolution granting the Sugar Ranch subdivision replat of lots number 6 through 16 of Block 18. The request is to consider this based on the fact that, yes, it is in the county, but it falls within a mile of the corporate boundaries of Green River. And so, the Sugar Ranch subdivision is a county subdivision located along the south side of Highway 374 and approximately 4,000 feet west of the city corporate limits. Per Wyoming statute 34-12-103 and Appendix C of the city ordinance, Section 4, little a, administration and enforcement, it states that these regulations shall be administered and interpreted by Planning Commission of the City of Green River, which is for subdivisions. All plats submitted to the City Council of the City of Green River shall first have been examined by the Planning Commission in accordance with the procedures established by these regulations. When any part of a subdivision lies outside of, but within 1 mile of the boundary of the City of Green River, that subdivision shall be approved by the City Council of the City of Green River before it is finally approved by the Sweetwater County Board of Commissioners. A subdivision permit issued therefore, and the plat filed in the office of the county clerk. The Sugar Ranch subdivision replat contains lots numbered 6 through 16 of Block 18 and part of the alley in Block 18 vacated by quitclaims, recorded in Book 1251, page 5599, and Book 1251, page 5595 of the final plat of Jamestown. The subdivision is located in the west half, northwest quarter, and Lot 4, Section 8, Township 18 North, Range 107 West, 6th Prime Meridian, Sweetwater County, Wyoming. The replat of the subdivision will contain 3 lots. The 3-lot subdivision replat is 2.036 acres in size and zoned in an R2. At this time, there's been no proposal for what Lot 1 and Lot 2 are going to be, and a residential dwelling is currently on Lot 3, which will remain the same. A drainage plan designed by Wyoming licensed professional engineer will be submitted with a construction use permit application, and the property owner will be responsible for maintaining the drainage as permitted. Lot 1 and 2 of the Sugar Ranch subdivision will front on Washington Street, and Lot 3 will front on Jefferson Street. There's a 15-foot drainage and utility easement between Lot 1 and Lot 2, and a 20-foot wide drainage and utility easement between Lots 2 and 3. The water system will be provided by the Jamestown Water and Sewer District. Jamestown Rio Vista Water and Sewer District will own and operate the water system. No proposed centralized sewage system, individual septic tanks, and leach fields shall be permitted by Sweetwater County Health. On April 9th of 2025, the Planning and Zoning Commission heard the consideration for the resolution granting the Sugar Ranch subdivision replat. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted to recommend it for approval to the governing body of the City of Green River, Wyoming.
Thank you. Any questions for Rob? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Bushman.
I move to approve the resolution granting a subdivision replat as requested for the Sugar Ranch subdivision, 3-lot residential subdivision in Jamestown, but within 1 mile of the corporate limits of Green River, Wyoming.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilwoman Bushman. Who seconded it? Seconded by Councilman Williams. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Thank you, Rob. Item 8, council action items. Item A, consideration of a change order number 1 with Bodell Construction for the wastewater treatment plant replacement facility project.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Mark Westmasco, Public Works Director. As we have seen, we've been making some good progress on the wastewater treatment plant. Our contractor has been very diligent in pursuing the work that they have been able to do, and things look really good. One of the things that we are still lacking are 2 things that have to do with major electrical equipment. As we have seen throughout the industry, major electrical equipment has been delayed, production times have been extended due to local supply chain issues, and our project has not been exempt from those. So what we have tonight is a change order to extend the time only for the contractor to complete the work. We are scheduled to receive the generator here sometime around the end of the month, and the major switch gear end of May, 1st of June, at which time that stuff will be installed and we'll be able to move forward. But our original construction window was actually to be done June. So we'll need to extend the time to make sure that we can get the plant up and running and behaving like it's supposed to. So this change order is for the extension of the time.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And again, I might be repeating something you said, but change order number 1 will provide additional contract time for the completion of the work without adjusting the contract dollar amount. This isn't about any additional funding.
That's right. There's no additional fees at this time. We're still working through, just trying to get this equipment on site so we can get the project complete.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Mark? Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to this contract extension? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Chattrun.
I move to approve the change order number 1 with Bodell Construction for City of Green River wastewater treatment plant replacement facility project.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Chattrun, seconded by Councilman Kilpack. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Item B, consideration of amendment number 4 to the agreement with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company for the wastewater treatment plant replacement project. Go ahead, Mark.
I think you need to act on this one before I can say anything.
Mayor,
Councilman Byrd.
I move to untable the consideration of amendment number 4 to the city's agreement with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company Incorporated for additional professional services for the wastewater treatment plant replacement facility in the amount of $789,612.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman, sorry. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay,
Mayor,
go ahead, Councilman Berg.
I move to consider amendment number 4 to the city's agreement with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company Incorporated for additional professional services for the wastewater treatment plant replacement facility in the amount of $789,612.
Gary,
Second.
who was that? All right, so it's been moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilman Chattrun. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of it.
Mayor and Council, Mark Westensco, Public Works Director. This is related to the previous one in that the time needed for this amendment is related to the extended construction window. What we have is an amendment. The other was a change order. Change orders are for construction contracts, amendments are for professional service agreements. So what we have is a professional service agreement that was established originally back in 2018. At that time, that was for the design of the facility, and that was a fixed fee contract. In 2020, when we thought we were trying to get this thing built the first time, we issued amendment number 1 that established a span of services for the construction phase of the project. At this time, we have essentially expended the resources of that amendment number 2, and we propose an amendment number 4. We've done an intermediate amendment as well to allow for additional funds for the future services that we will continue to need from our professional team through the duration of the construction work. These services include construction oversight on site, did run this amendment past our funding agency, the state DEQ, the SRF program, and they concurred that these, that this is an appropriate amendment that is eligible under our construction loans. And so, again, this is to provide additional time for services for the remaining 6 or 7 months that are necessary for the completion of the project to make sure that it's all up and running and closed out. I'll answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions for? Okay, thank you, Mark. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to this? Yes, sir.
Council, Mayor Philip Stanton again. So I looked through this change order, and I just have a couple of questions. Mark mentioned somebody's approving all of these pay applications. Is the engineering firm monitoring themselves in these applications? Because it's a pretty good breakdown in here as far as the spreadsheet goes. But is somebody from the city double checking this work? Because you've got Sunrise Engineering, you've got, whatever they're calling themselves, and so you've got 2 engineering firms working together on this change order, right? And so, are you checking them, Mark? Mark's checking them? Are you on site every day checking their hourly stuff?
Not every day, but we do have a representative on site most days, and verify that they are on site performance.
Okay. Oh, and so I guess if you got somebody in there checking them, then this all would, it just seems really difficult to understand how you just told us that in June, you're thinking you're gonna have the switch gear and it should be completed, that it's gonna take another $790,000. I mean, there's some pretty high numbers in there. I know engineers are expensive, but I'm just curious, the justification behind that. And it's humorous that they put rate adjustment on here, because what it's really gonna be is our kids that live in this town will be paying a rate adjustment forever associated with this amount. So I just wanna make sure while you're making this decision, and I'm sure that you understand the weight that's behind this. This isn't just a short-term thing. We need this sewer plant, we were told. That's fine. These rates, if, we're gonna have $90 to $100 sewer rates here pretty soon in the next 2 years, from what I'm seeing from the information I'm getting from the city. Is that still accurate? I mean, so a little bit of pushback maybe, or some negotiation, or whatever you guys can do, but realistically, what happens if you say no? I mean, you guys had Amendment 3, which was value engineering. So in construction, when you don't have enough money to pay for something, you value engineer it. What happened when we value engineered it? They made another $228,900 to tell us now it's gonna cost an extra, I don't remember how many, was it millions, 2 million more after the first bid got shot down? And so, I just don't understand how it could be that much money to finish a 2-month project out. Is this money already spent? So, they're asking for $789,612 for 2 months' work, some O&Ms, I mean, operation and maintenance manuals, and then what's the rest of it? That's my question. And I got a bunch more questions, but realistically, if you vote no, are they gonna walk off site? Are you gonna end up in some litigation? Is that litigation gonna be worth $789,000, And I just don't ever see our sewer rates going down. So if we're gonna try to keep them down, this is the only time we'll have a chance to attempt to do that. And I think I'll get off my soapbox now. Appreciate you guys' time. And if you can answer that question of what's gonna happen if you just say no, I mean, or at least negotiate it, my goodness, that's an awful lot of money, 20-something% of their overall contract for 2 months after a 5-year ordeal. I would think they'd probably be willing to talk to you at least, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Just to clarify, the extension of time is approximately 7 months. We're going from June to January, essentially, as far as our rates are concerned, given a little bit of background in the scope of the project, we started this contract in 2018. We're expecting to build, go to construction in 2021, which is why we did the original amendment number 2 in 2020. At that time, we had a $30 million loan package at 2.5% interest that had a projected debt service of a certain amount for the 30-year term of the loans. We did bid in 2021. We received bids that were beyond the scope of that funding package, and we pursued additional funding packages at that time. We did some value engineering. We attempted to do some direct procurement things, and we've been at it for a minute. Ultimately, we're able to bid the project again in 2023 and receive bids. At that time, the bids had increased. The base dollar amount of construction after COVID has been very challenging for our industry. Recognizing that, our funding agencies were able to help us out a little bit. First in the form of a $6 million ARPA grant, and also in the form of a reduction of our interest rates from 2.5% to 0.25%. And again, finally, as we were just last December, we were able to get an additional $10 million in ARPA grant. So we're looking at $17 million in ARPA grant and a 0.25% interest. As we calculate the debt service based on those parameters, we are now looking at roughly a $40 million loan package at a 0.25% interest, and that debt service comes out remarkably close to what the $30 million package was. So the project itself, while we've had some pluses and minuses, some challenges, we've also seen some help from our funding agencies that have brought things back into the realm of where we had wanted to be, or at least we thought we were going to be. We wanted to be lower, obviously, but where we thought we were going to be earlier in the project. So what was the other? Oh, what happens if we don't? Things slow down, and we're really close to being finished, and that would be a slowdown that would be a challenge.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Just a quick one for Mark. So Mark, I just want you to verify, just so people can hear it, this will extend it up till January? And also, like, you know, you thought it was June, it's July, it's January, so that's 7
I
months.
did mention
Yeah.
June as the
So-
original, so.
And this is money that hasn't been, it's appropriated for future, it's not gonna be spent, it's future stuff, you know? It's like, we might not spend it all, but it's not to exceed that much, right?
Mayor, Councilman Williams, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
This extends us out from a time perspective to January 2027, 2026, sorry. Too many years. And these are an allowance for services during that span of time to a not to exceed amount. We may not spend it all. I hope we don't. But it covers the services it will need to complete the work. Again, all the startup activities, the closeout activities, the final inspections and upstart of all the equipment. If you want to come and take a look at the equipment, it's pretty impressive, so.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, any other, yes, Councilwoman?
Just for a clarification for Mr. Sutton, the original contract has the language regarding rate adjustment, so we're legally obligated in the language.
Yeah, the amendment did have provision for annual adjustments to, related to billing rates. We have not pursued that, nor has the consultant asked for that, because we all hoped that we wouldn't need it. So here we are at the end of the job, we're just bringing everything back together and projecting out to the end of the job what we expect that this should cost us, and there we go. We have a projection. We have an estimate.
Any other comments from council, questions? Anyone else?
Will you just guarantee us as taxpayers that you'll police the hell out of them so we know we got the best bang for our buck at least? Okay, thanks, Mark.
All right, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttry.
I move to approve amendment number 4 to the city's agreement with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company for future professional services for wastewater treatment plant replacement facility in the not-to-exceed amount of $789,612.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shuttry and seconded by Councilman Kilpack. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Item C, consideration to approve the submission of the Pacific Corps Foundation Community Enhancement Grant application for the military tank restoration project.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Katie Duncombe, Director of Parks and Recreation. We're asking that you consider us or approve us to submit a grant to Pacific Corp for the refurbishment of the tank at Veterans Park. We have had that tank within city limits and borrowed from the U.S. Army TACCOM since 1998. At the present time, we have received a generous donation from the American Legion of $3,000. We will be asking Pacific Corps for an additional $5,000, and then the rest of the money we're hoping that the city will match. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, council? Katie? Okay, thank you. We'll have a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I move to approve the submission of the Pacific Foundation Community Enhancement Grant application requesting $5,000 to restore the military tank at Veterans Park.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Kilpack, seconded by Councilman Berg. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda. Have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Mayor, I need to abstain from.
Okay. Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Kilpack. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports, Mr. City Administrator.
Mayor, Council, thank you. We had our Finance Committee meeting yesterday, so those notes will be going out to you tomorrow. We're getting close on the finalizing the budget, and the department head's been working really good trying to put together with what we expect to be a conservative year. Still not seeing the mines and the startup of those projects coming in. We will not budget for that until those things are up and going, but we'll be working on a future workshop here in May that will be bringing together to council an outline of projects that are out there that we are putting on hold and have been put on hold for some time, so we can start to work towards putting a timeframe / priority list together on that. But I think that'll be best served once we get that first round of the budget finalized. So I'll keep updating that. And they're currently working on the schedule of fees. Those will be getting to the committee, and then they'll be out for review, but that should be right around the end of this month. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Reed. Anybody have any questions for Reed? Mr. City Attorney.
I have no report tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you, Galen. Councilman Kilpack.
I have no report.
Councilman Williams.
I just want to say congratulations to the Green River Grapplers. We had state tournament up there last weekend, and Green River looked really good. They looked really good, really professional. The coaches were awesome. I'd like to say thank you to them. They put a lot of man hours out there, and the kids worked hard, and we made a good showing up there. They looked really, really good, so congratulations to them.
Where was that, Ron?
Casper. They had state wrestling for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so, yep, like I said, everything looked great, so congratulations to them. That's
Thank
it.
you, Councilwoman Mazer.
I just would like to thank Steve for the update on Flaming Gorge Days in the department head memo that went out earlier today. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Councilman Chatru.
Just thank everybody for their patience while we got to executive session. Appreciate everybody waiting around. That's all I have.
Councilman Byrd.
Just a clarification, because there was still obviously some confusion there at the end when Mr. Stanton was speaking. But the first one was a change order for time only. The second one was not a change order, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Bushman.
I just want to wish everyone a happy Easter that's coming up, and we have an Easter hunt at the Lincoln Middle School on Saturday. There's about 10,000 eggs, so bring out the kids, and there'll be food trucks and coffee there, so bring the little ones.
And where was that again?
Lincoln Middle School.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman. I have nothing. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Councilman Chatru.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.